would like to welcome you all to Jenna&Ryans' wedding, what is truly a wonderful occasion. I'll save embarrassing Ryan, as that's the duty of the best man. But I understand the uncensored version of the speech will be on sale for £5 a copy after the reception. And having heard it and seen the attached photos, I guarantee it's worth every penny. Got my copy early. It's good to see so many people here today, some which have travelled quite long distances, especially Jenna's auntie and uncle from France and cousins from up north. And I know this day means as much to Wandering Joe as it does to Kim and I, and I'm sure there's no prouder sets of parents anywhere else than here today. It's also a great day for Jenna's grandparents, Doris and Fred, and Olga and Jack, who I know mean the world to Jenna. I'd like to say how lovely the two mothers look, and of course the two fathers have scrubbed up okay too. The bridesmaids look amazing in their dresses, and well, the flower girl is simply stunning. And what can I say about the page boy? Dear little Sam, he's been so good today, and he looks so grown up. And Jenna, you really do look an absolute vision in your beautiful wedding dress, darling.
I'm going to fill up in here, anyway.
Well, on to my speech, and Jenna's requested I do not make her cry, as it will make her mascara run. Okay, looks like I'll be chatting about Crystal Palace for the next 5 minutes. Make you all cry.
Don't make her cry.
But before I start embarrassing Jenna, I'd just like to say thanks for Chris, for sitting there night after night for the last 2 weeks while I rehearsed my speech to her, so I could get my tears out of the way, hopefully. And of course, if I mess it up too much, I can blame her. Well, it all started at 11:49 PM on the 5th of July 1984, when Jenna eventually graced us with her presence. Her reluctance to leave the womb was a sign of her teenage years to come, when she never wanted to leave her bed either. And no one was more pleased than poor Kim, who was in labour on one of the hottest days of the year. Eventually Jenna was born, and I couldn't have been more delighted with a beautiful baby girl that I witnessed being brought into the world. So, it was about 1 AM before I got round to ringing her nanny and granddad and grandma and grandpa to break the news of Jenna's arrival. And there I was, top of my voice, shouting down the phone, "It's a girl! It's a girl!" Unfortunately, the payphone was at the entrance to the new baby ward, and the response to my enthusiasm, I was absolutely deafened by the sound of screaming babies that I'd woken, and new mums shouting things out to me I could not possibly repeat here today. So, being Mr. Unpopular with all the other new mums and babies, I then left Kim and Jenna to make my way home, turning the car radio on to be greeted by Cliff Richard singing "Congratulations" on Capital Radio. A song that, for obvious reasons, will always be very special to me. It was on that journey home from the hospital that I started wondering what the future would hold for Jenna. What sort of person would she be? And believe it or not, I even visualised walking her down the aisle to be married. So I'd like to give a personal thank you to you, Jenna, for making that particular wish come true for me. Thanks. Jenna's always been a very lovely and affectionate daughter to both Kim and myself, and therefore it's no surprise that she's carried that on into motherhood, and we are both so very proud of her. Right, so Crystal Palace then. Right, this is move on to the embarrassing bit. Jenna's never been work shy, but it was at quite a young age that we both decided one profession was not for Jenna: hairdressing. Daddy was always the guinea pig for Jenna's latest hairstyle.
Not anymore.
One of her favourite styles involved using the tiniest of coloured rubber bands and winding them round my hair. On one occasion I must have had 20 of them tightly interwoven, with Jenna telling me how beautiful I looked. And of course, I'm smiling and telling her how clever she was. What she didn't know was that apart from her making me look like the village idiot, it used to give me a bloody awful headache. I remember thinking at the time, I hope this doesn't make me go bald. It didn't, but I think I'll blame you for the grey hair, honey. Jenna was never a great sportswoman, as those of you that have seen her play 10-pin bowling will know. But I think her real lack of sporting interest was shown one Sunday morning, while at the park watching Scott playing football. It had been raining very heavily, the boys were completely caked in mud, and had just lost very, very badly. As Scott trudged off the pitch at the end, looking totally deflated, Jenna skipped up to him and asked if he had anything to eat, because she was hungry. Scott's reply cannot be repeated here. Jenna met Ryan in O'Neill's and Beckenham on All Fool's Day in 2006. I won't go into detail, don't worry. Thankfully, Ryan didn't turn out to be a fool, but someone that I instantly liked, and I was so happy that Jenna was going out with him. I liked Ryan when I first met him, and of course my feelings towards him have got stronger over the years. And being a Palace fan also helps.
Oh, devil.
Jenna's known all her bridesmaids for some time now. Karen, who's maid of honour today. Casey, hiding from me. Casey, who Jenna worked with as a dental nurse, meeting them both when she was living in Hertfordshire. And then there's Abby, who we've known since she was a baby and will always hold a special place in our family's hearts. And of course, Mia, who looks so beautiful. In fact, reflecting on Jenna as a little girl, I never thought that I would live to see the day when another little girl could out-talk the young Jenna. But I do believe that Mia's surpassed the Definitely. Jenna, as I bring my speech to its conclusion, Mum and I will look back on today with pride in our hearts, and what an amazing young woman you've turned out to be, and how much we both love you. Jenna, 28 years ago, I held you in my arms for the first time. Now, 28 years later, I proudly walked you down the aisle on my arm, to hand you over to Ryan, to look after you, and to love you unconditionally. Ryan, I know you will not let me down. So, I will now ask you all to raise your glasses to Jenna and Ryan, and toast Mr. and Mrs. Campbell.
Mrs. Campbell.
Well done.